So I wanted to do a quick video on a headband, actually two tonight, and my kids are awake, so if they come in here, hopefully they don't, I kind of snuck away. I'm apologizing in advance. I am feeling a little better, but I'm still sniffling and my voice is still altered, so kind of bear with me. So I wanted to play around with feathers and flowers and a little bit more of an extravagant type of headband instead of just one or two flowers. So what I did was I got bags of flowers, or feathers, and I found these on Factory Direct Craft. They had a 20 or 25% sale going on, and these bags only cost like $1 for, or two for all the feathers in them. There's like 50 or 60 feathers. So what you're going to need is the feathers that you want to use. You're going to need some kind of flower. I'm going to go ahead and use these. I got them off of Etsy. I believe it was Crafty Girls. It cost me $3 for this whole roll of feathers, and you get, I mean, there's so many colors. I got the plum. So we're going to go ahead and make some purple headbands. You're going to need a piece of felt. You're going to need a headband. I'm going to make two headbands, one for the baby and then one for me. I wanted to mess around with the flowers on a headband rather than a clip, just because there's going to be so much on it. I think it would be too much for a clip. Then you'll need, I'm going to use these as kind of like an embellishment. They're the little rhinestones. I talked about this before. I got this little pack at Walmart for like $1. I'm waiting for my big box from Etsy to come. Like I said, you can get like 4,000 for like 15 bucks. You'll need a pen, and you'll need some scissors. Now, I've never done this before, and I haven't done this before this video to kind of see how it's going to turn out and then do a video. So this is a guinea pig experience. You have to work with me. I want to make it where the feathers go up instead of across, because I'm using kind of smaller feathers. Also, I really wanted to get some crochet bands. Now, if you can crochet, by all means, make your own. I wish I could. I just started crocheting, so I ordered these off of Etsy. The girl that had them, if you just do a search on crochet headbands, she had them for $1 a piece. So I got like 5 of them just to see how I liked them, and they're great because I don't have to sew them, and they're already done, and they're really cute. And then I talked about before, I thought I saw at Walmart like cheap headbands in a pack. Well, I got these. They're plain Jane headbands. They're actually for like little girls, but they'll be perfect for what I want. And they were $3, and I got 6 of them. Now, like I said, I haven't done any research on the internet to see if I can get them any cheaper, but I happened to be at Walmart tonight, so I just grabbed a pack really quick. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our felt. Actually, the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to cut out the flower so that it's already done. So this came just on a like a netting, so I'm just going to cut around so that you can't see the netting and cut the flower out so that we can work with it here. Doesn't have to be like perfect. I'm not going to go around and make sure every little itty bitty piece of this netting's off because it can easily be hidden, but just to, you know, make sure that you got your flower and it's not sticking out all over. So I'm going to cut out 2 of them. I've set aside some flowers, so I'll cut out 2, one for each headband that I will make. There. I should have done this before I started the video. I'm so sorry. I didn't even think to cut them out and have them ready to go. Like I said, these were about $2 or $3. They have so many different colors, and I just wanted to order them to see how I liked them first, and figured purple was a good color, and I'm a lot of purple stuff, so I wanted to go ahead and mess around with purple. So once you have those all cut out, I'm going to go ahead and move you down a little bit. just because we're going to be doing a lot on the table, and I want to make sure that you can see everything. So, I think that that's probably good enough. So you take your piece of felt. Since I'm working with purple, I'm working with purple felt. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out how I want to line this up. Now, because I want to do the the feather, instead of it sitting like this, I want it to sit up like this. That's like going to be way too big on the back of her head. So I'm going to cut this probably in half so that it sits up just a little bit, and then I'll layer them. So I'll go ahead and do that now. Actually, I'm going to trim this bottom off. If you notice with the feathers or that little piece that sticks out, we don't need that. So I'll go ahead, and every time I breathe, I have to breathe on my nose because I can't breathe. The thing flies everywhere. So go ahead. I'd say that this is going to be like the perfect amount to stick up, and I'm not wasting this. So I'm going to go ahead and probably overlap them a little bit so you have a little bit of more of the light purple showing. This is just, to make them pretty. So what you want to do on the felt is you kind of want to lay out your design so that you know like how much felt is going to be needed. I'm going to make sure that enough felt goes up the back so that we can go ahead and glue the whole feather to the felt. That way, it's not just kind of laying there. So I'm going to lay the whole feather on the felt here just to see how much we need. And I'm going to just put this one aside because I'm going to do just the longest piece I have. And then I also want to take the flower and kind of put the flower on top of it because I need to know how much felt I need to cut around here, but I need to make the back part skinnier. So because I want to use these as embellishments, I was thinking of putting them right here in the corner. So I'm going to make more of like an oval shape at the bottom and then work my way around. And that is where the pen comes in handy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace around my flower. And then I'm going to go up the back of the feather here, behind it, and the same thing on the other side. And again, if you can hear my husband, I apologize. He's with the kids. Okay, so you can't really see because the purple's a little bit dark, but you kind of got this like little circle thing going down here, and then this little thing. So I'm going to cut around that, just like this. Nothing about this has to be perfect because you will not see the felt in the back. And if we need to, we can always trim later. That's the best part about this, is that if we need to trim later, we'll go ahead and trim later. That way, we're not cutting out not enough, but then at the same time, if it's too much, it can always be trimmed. So it kind of looks like a funky little bottle. I left these a little bit open because when I put the flower on there, and I want to have those purple embellished, like those purple rhinestones on each side, I have the room for it. I can, like I said, I can cut off this bottom anytime. Okay, put it on the counter. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to cut out another one, since I'm going to do 2 headbands, and since I already have the shape, I'll just go ahead and I'll cut around it. And then I'll end up probably cutting 4 of them so that I can do the backing. I want to make sure, this is how it's going to go. I want to make sure that it's going to glue on here good and stay on here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the whole shape out so that I can glue them back to back on here. It'll be like the same thing for this headband as well. So we'll just go ahead and do 3 more of them to have the shapes we need. Like I said, I haven't done this yet. I really started seeing some really cute, like, different feather headbands. I was like, oh, those are cute. What can I do with my own? I have all these ideas. And so I ordered just factory direct craft I've never heard of before. I did look on Etsy for feathers, didn't really see anything. I did find out later on that eBay has some good deals, I guess, on feathers. You could go on there. But I did just a search on crafting feathers, and I found this factory direct craft. Like I said, they were having like a 20 or 25% sale, and everything was like just really cheap that I got so much stuff. And then I think they have free shipping at $50 more. I don't know. I didn't spend $50. So they just had good deals, and they had a lot of stuff. I did searches for all kinds of different things, and I found the bags of feathers and like different things that I want to incorporate into headbands or hair clips or different craft ideas I have down the road. So I went ahead and ordered them since they were having the big sale now, and they came so quick. And so I figure, like I said, it's my guinea pig project. I apologize that I might stop, I might think, or I might change what I want to do in the end, just because I haven't done this yet. So nothing perfect. I'm just kind of doing a rough cut, so we can go ahead and put our felt to the side. We have our 4 bottle things going on here. So we'll go ahead. We'll take one of them. Which one do I want to use here? I think this is the first one we cut out. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of line out, now that I have it out, how I want the feathers to look on here before I start gluing. So you want to make sure that you like how it's going to look. So my idea here is to do the very light purple, and then I have these dark purple ones that are really pretty. I'm going to go ahead and cut these bottoms off because we do not need them. Feathers everywhere. Alright, and then I was going to go ahead and take my flower right here on the bottom, and then on the corners, where my rhinestones are going to be. Now that I'm looking at it, I don't know I'll have enough room for how I want to do it. But that's sort of like the rough draft. So now that I have it laid out, I can go ahead and just kind of flip that off of there, and then start gluing piece by piece. So I have this smaller piece, and I just kind of want to glue like this. So I'll go ahead and I'll take my hot glue. And I'm just going to glue it back a little bit. You're not going to need a lot. These are very... I'm running out of glue here. As they come out. So just get enough to go up the back, and then go ahead and place it on your felt. Like so. Push down. And then, keep going with all the pieces that you have. Like I said, all the way up the middle because you want the whole thing to be glued down. Tiny little piece here. So we have the start. We have our light colored feathers all on there, glued. So we'll go ahead and start going with the darker ones. Like I said, sorry, I had this horrible cold and I don't know why it won't go away, but keep clearing my throat and sniffling and oh, so fun. So since this one is a little longer, what I went ahead and did is I kind of just started at the bottom and then glued it all the way at the top here. You don't want everything to be symmetrical. That's kind of the fun part about it, is that it doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to look so super cute, I think. Almost, you know, being a rough draft, I guess, if you want to call it. Now the littler ones, because these are both longer, the littler ones I'll end up kind of gluing a little bit up, you know, here. So go ahead and really, this is a guinea pig experience for me as well as for you. So if you want to do something that's kind of going to follow the same pattern, I mean, you can use any color that you want, and just when you start gluing and putting them together, experiment with how you like the way those feathers lay. It doesn't have to be perfect or exactly the same. I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of the different things that you can do. And like I said, I've seen so many different flower headbands, but I'm so into trying to do things myself that I went ahead and waited until I bought them. So you have something like this. I wanted, mine is going to be more of a dark purple because I got the plum. I have the dark purple flowers, but I wanted this light just to kind of as like an accent in the back. So I'm fine with it now showing a lot. If you want more contrast, you can definitely make sure that you glue your darker flowers down a little bit more or show more of that, but I like it just like this. So kind of pull your flowers out a little bit to have them a little bushy. So then we'll go ahead and figure out where we want the flower to lay and glue that. I am going to leave a little bit on the bottom here because I wanted to kind of put some accents with the rhinestones. So I'll glue it right about there. And I'm going to go ahead and put glue all over the back of the flower here. Now, I did just all over the back of the middle. I wasn't sure if I would want these bushies up, so to bush up a little bit, I figure I can always change it. Press down. If I think it, which it does stick up quite a bit, so I'm going to go ahead and put glue on each side so that they don't come up as much. Okay, so this is kind of a rough draft of your flower and feathers. Now I'm going to do a little bit of an accent with these little rhinestones. I took out 6 thinking that I might be able to fit them all, but I'm not going to be able to. So I am going to start with this side. I'm just going to put 2 dots, and I'm going to lay the 2 rhinestones right next to each other. See how that looks? Oops. There goes one. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side with 2 rhinestones. Just 2 dots and put 2 next to each other. My glue and feathers or flower works with me here. Okay, now I think I want to try I'm going to try and get like one more. I I really like it, how it looks, but I want to try and get like one more rhinestone underneath here and one more rhinestone underneath here, and then we'll go ahead and we'll cut off this excess felt so that you can't see it. So if you like it with just the two, or you don't want to put rhinestones at all, then go ahead and cut that felt. But if you want to do it like the same way, go ahead and glue your last two rhinestones. And at the same time, mine are hanging off, but I do still have back pieces for these, so I can always make it a point that, and it's also going to stick on your headband, so I can always make it a point that there's a little bit, you know, extra there. So now, since that's done, I'm going to go ahead and cut off excess felt that I don't need. You don't really want to see that. That's just for backing, you know, you just need something to fold it on. And then there you have it. You have your flower and your rhinestones and your feathers. So then we'll take our, find my rhinestone again. There we go. Okay. Take your headband. Now, the lady that did these, she did them really nice where you can't completely tell looking at it where the middle is, but if you flip it over, you can see where she sewed it together. And I always like to cover that part up, so that's the part I'm going to cover up on here. So I want my nice part obviously to be on the pretty part of the crocheted headband, so I'll go ahead and I'll flip that over just like this. Now I'm going to make sure that my thicker part is on the headband. So go ahead and flip that over. And then you want to take one of your backs. So take it back like this and go ahead and you're going to glue the whole back of it and lay it right on top of there. And like I said, you know, if they don't fit perfectly back to back, you can do trimming at the last minute. You know, you never want to not have enough. You know, you start a project or a headband and then it's like, oh my goodness, I didn't cut enough, and then, you know, everything's kind of like ruined. So just place it in a good spot. Lay that right on top of there. Make sure that it sticks really good. Make sure everything is straight here. And then there you have it. There is her little headband. And that was pretty simple. Now I do notice that I have some cutting to do down here. So I will go ahead, just trim off a little bit of felt that shows from the back, because it's a little bit longer because you don't really see it. And then there you go, you have your baby headband. And you know, it'll look really cute on her head. You can do kind of like where it's almost on her forehead a little bit and sticks up, or you can do it where you have the flower and just sticks in the back. I have some really pretty like white and black feathers that I want to do, and I'm going to do I'll do another video soon where they're going across the headband, because I like that idea as well. I just kind of wanted to play around. When I ordered these, I did notice these are where these little dark purple ones are in, that people had said that they were smaller than they thought, and some of them aren't, and then some of them are really small. So I thought, oh, this would be perfect for like a clip or doing a headband like this. That's why I went ahead and figured I'd do it like this way. It's kind of like retro looking, almost like, I don't know, I like it, it's pretty cute. So I'm going to go ahead and make one that I can wear, and then I will call in one of my boys to try it on his head, just so you can get an idea of how it's going to look. But I'm going to set this one aside and go ahead and start on the next one. It's literally the same exact thing. where you have your feather, you know, you want to figure out on here kind of how far up you want it, so you'll end up like cutting it in half again. And lay it out, you know. See what looks best. Actually, this one might look best on top this time. So I'll start like this, and then take your dark purple feathers, lay them out how you think you want them to show on here. Honestly, that's probably, I took out so many feathers so I wasn't sure how many I need, but I'm thinking that this is going to be plenty. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and start the gluing process. And apparently we need plenty of glue for this one as well. I'm already out of my new stick I just put in. So go ahead, glue up the back all the way along it. Have it right up the felt there. And noticing, I always have a problem with hot glue guns anyways and sticking to everything, but feathers, woo, they really like them, and they like to stick to them. Just forewarning you, it's going to be a sticky hot mess. Sorry, I cannot wait for the day that I do a video and I'm like, I'm not sick. I feel great. And I have to keep apologizing that I don't feel good. Just noticed I did not cut off the bottom of this, so I'll go ahead and cut that off. Cut off the bottom of these two. I need that sticky part. And everything is going to work differently. It's going to work differently for you. Mine are going to work differently for me because the feathers are not the exact same sizes, which is totally fine. I mean, like I said 100 times, play around with them. It really is, you know, up to you how you want it to look. You know, if you want that kind of, you know, 50s kind of look. If you know, if you don't, I mean, just really play around with them. I just, you know, I had fun playing around with everything, and I like figuring out how it's going to come out in the end, and it's just, so if you notice, I'm going to trim off up here, because you can see quite a bit of the felt, and I don't want to see it. So I am going to trim off the corner here, if I can get it off. Next step is to take your flower and go ahead and figure out where you're going to put your flower, and then go ahead and glue that on. Makes things so much easier when stuff wants to cooperate, but when stuff does not want to cooperate, it can be a pain. Set your flower where you wanted it and push down to the other flower feather part. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our rhinestones and put those on here. So I'm going to do 2 dots in each, well, let's do 2 dots here. First rhinestone. And now, you could leave this and you could just do like a whole outline of rhinestones or whatever kind of thing, or like I said, not do any kind of an accent, or not really accent embellishment to them at all. You could do it just like I did it. I just thought it might be cute to have something on each side of the flower like that, and it, it looks really cute. So, like I said, I like to have more than enough than not enough to begin with, so there may be quite a bit of trimming, there may not be any trimming, it really all depends on how it comes out. So with this one, because I cannot lay it down, and this is a little bit more tricky, because with these, you can make sure you cover up where you sew it, and then when you put it on her head, kind of position it wherever you want. However, with these, you kind of have to see, okay, this is how it goes on my head, and where do I want the flower to lay? Well, I kind of like my flowers to lay off to the side, so you're going to only want to go up, this much on here, and have your flower come up here. If you want it in the middle, then that would obviously be the easiest, because it's right in the middle. If you like them lower, higher, however you want to do it. So, I'll go ahead, put it on here, kind of say, okay, this is kind of where I want my headband to be, my flower to be on the side of my head. And forgive me, I do have one of my clips that I made in my hair. I told you I like to wear clips when I'm feeling better, so, but if you like it, there is a video on the blog. So go ahead, and this is where I kind of want it to lay. And I'm going to do the same thing where it's in the middle of the biggest part of the back. And I'll just kind of set it here so that I have an idea of where I want it to be. And I'll go ahead and glue the whole back. But lay it over the back. You don't want it like that. Alright, now that I totally messed that up, you want it like this. I'm going to have to probably pull this off maybe and redo it if I can't get it to lay. So don't do what I did and start putting it on sideways. You want to make sure that you put it on where this part is laying flat. Some of my glue dried pretty quick, so I'm going to have to go ahead and kind of glue under, and I'm also